right now we're going to get tickets.
Right.
Straight out into the street, please, sir. Individual line. No problem. This won't take long. Yeah, I mean around the ball or whatever. You go right behind them. Yep. Okay. Appreciate it. Single file line. Hey, John.
Can you hold this for a second so I can go?
If you get out of line, you can't get back in.
I can't?
It's fine. I mean, we don't need tickets.
Follow the barriers, because it's going to have to L at some point. Single file line.
10 minutes from the station. It's a 10-minute walk once I get off here.
So call your
He's right there.
I wanted to run over. Hey,
tripod,
give me
another
the
part here. Somebody else got it mixed up too.
Oh yeah.
We had it yesterday. What?
So this is the early line. I had thought that the tickets were going to be given away at South Beach, but I guess they're giving 200 tickets away here too.
I left at 5 too. I was right in the back here.
I got here about 20 after.
So everybody's starting to get their tickets now. I think that gentleman over there was on CBS last night. He's the one with the 5,000 signatures.
Alright folks, we gotta go back over here now. Can't have it over here. Let's go. Where do you want to sit up?
Back to your side. Either side.
Thank you.
You must have the ticket to enter tonight.
This is the ticket.
Oh, you got a good number.
42. CBS News. More folks going to get tickets.
So that's Dino.
Ticket?
They're walking in.
Yeah. No, they're not. They're getting tickets.
Right.
That's what I was getting when they come here.
Yeah, they're doing that now. Do you want to show us?
They talked about it.
I'll be right here.
So we'll hold that friends again.
Okay. Can you tell me your name and how to spell it? Brian? No, the other side. Oh, okay. So you came out just for this?
Absolutely.
Tell me a little bit about why you think 287G is a good idea.
I think 287G is vital.
Yeah.
I think that it's a very bare minimum we need to pass to deport people. If the argument is that we don't want to deport people that are rapists and murderers, that if there's anybody who wants to be deported, that's got to be top of the list, and that's what 287G is.
Thank you.
Okay, now we got. At the very bare minimum, we need the capacity to deport people who committed crimes. If the argument is that we don't want to deport people that are rapists and murderers, that is great.
All right. Let's all say a quick prayer. Everybody take your hands if you can. I'm not a minister. I'm not a man who carries the Bible in my hand or wears my Christianity on my sleeve. But I tell you, they say there are no atheists in foxholes. You ever heard that? There are no atheists in foxholes. And I believe that this nation and this town is under a heavy shadow tonight. So I want to just do a simple prayer. If we can all bow our heads, please. Our Father, who art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil.
Lord, I don't want to take up a lot of your time.
From a company called Carolyn. They specialize in audio video stuff.
God bless America. Our home, sweet home. From the mountain to the prairie to the ocean, white foam. They just, I think, convicted about 30 gang members for hate crimes against black Americans. I would like for you to tell the people of Waukegan about the ethnic cleansing zones in L.A. So according to the L.A. Times, there are now parts of Los Angeles that no black person can enter without fear of death. Is that correct?
That's very correct. In fact, I know Henry Cisneros, the former Secretary of HUD, and I was talking with him the other day, and he says that if the Latino Mexican cleansing of black people in L.A. continues, it is going to destroy the city of Los Angeles because there will be a war between blacks and Mexicans.
Interrogation. It's important because if the Waukegan police arrest and charge a felon, and that felon posts bond and gets back to Mexico, they're never going to stand trial in this country. There's over 5,000 felons in Mexico wanted for murder, many of which were police officers, Border Patrol agents, and park rangers. And we know who they are, we know where they're at, and Mexico will not extradite them back. So unless the Waukegan Council and Waukegan Police Department want to have the terrible job of explaining to these victims' families that the reason the person who murdered their sons, their daughters, their mothers, their aunts, their uncles, their grandchildren has not stood justice is because they didn't pass the 287G, they didn't know he was a citizen of Guatemala, and now he's gone. Now what are these council members going to say to these victims' families? It's one thing if you couldn't have done anything. It's one thing when you try to pass the buck and say, well, the federal government's not doing its job, why should we? I'll tell you why you should, because you are an elected official, and you have the power and the responsibility to protect these citizens. It is incumbent upon our states and our cities to protect our citizens when the federal government fails. Now, here's what's happening across America. 12 to 25 Americans per day are being killed through the criminal actions of illegal aliens. That is an estimate that comes from Congressman Steve King's office of Iowa. Let's say his lowest range estimate of 12 per day is accurate. That's a minimum of 4,300 dead Americans per year that didn't have to die. They'd be alive today if we enforced our existing immigration law.
That's right.
Never was a September 11th terror, because if you back down, there's hundreds of other cities and towns out there that have enough sense to know they need the 287G program, or they'll be facing a big mob lost out of cities like L.A., Houston, and Chicago, backed up with corporate money. And thank God it's not my job to come out and say, I support illegal alien murderers, rapists, assault, and drug dealers. That's what they're doing. Who does that in America? Why are we even here? I resent the fact I'm here. This is utterly ridiculous. This is insanity. This is not what America is about. But the story is the same all across the country, from the DWI deaths to the gang murders, the same story. That the perpetrator was in and out of local jails, and the federal government is messed up so bad that they've got over 500,000 felon, criminal, illegal aliens running around in this country that they let out of prison. They let them out of prison without deporting them. They had served their sentences for dealing drugs, dealing weapons, rape, murder. And instead of deporting them, they filed a court paper saying they should leave the country and set them right back on the streets of Waukegan.